This is an introduction to Florence Classical Arts Academy online course. This online course is created specifically for people who are seriously considering visual arts to become their career. So this course is truly a foundation and truly the academic base that you need to start off your journey if you want to be a professional artist. This course is built in a way that you have all the information throughout the year in different formats such as videos, written materials, also feedback of your professors. So all of it together is given to you as a package of information so that you can learn in your own pace and that you can learn starting from where you are, from your home. The key subjects that you will be taking in this course are going to be the same subjects that you would be learning if you would be with us here physically in Florence taking a one-year program. These subjects are painting, drawing, technique and technology of painting, sketches, color science, human anatomy, plein air, and finally, in the end of your year, you will be working with live model doing portraiture. A few words about the method itself. We believe strongly in the efficiency of this method because it is based only and purely on analytical and constructive approach. What is constructive approach or what is analytical approach versus to other methods that are out there? This method is based purely on understanding the form, understanding what you draw or what you paint, or understanding the form in front of you before you start painting or drawing it. The biggest emphasis of this method is truly on understanding first, understanding the form, understanding the volume, understanding what three-dimensionality is, understanding how to see a form as if you are looking with X-ray vision, seeing a form in transparent manner. So it is very different to trying to copy a form, trying to copy an image that is 2D, or even trying to copy a model that's in front of you, just copying the silhouette without truly understanding what goes underneath the form, what is the anatomy, what's the substance of that form. So that's why we strongly believe that in order to become a professional in visual arts, first you need to have the strong base. You need to understand what are those foundations that you need in order to start applying the knowledge practically. We also call this method a method of applied knowledge, meaning that you cannot have the technique without understanding, without having the knowledge. And you cannot just have the knowledge without practicing and without having the technique. So these two things, they should go hand in hand. They cannot be separate from each other. Also, why this method is quite universal? Why is it applicable to many fields? It's because this is really something that starts off your journey, whether you want to be an artist, or you want to be a painter, for example, or you want to be an architect, or maybe you want to be a fashion designer, or you want to do illustration. It doesn't matter what career you choose in the end, but this is your foundation that gives you a proper understanding, that gives you a fundamental knowledge that will help you to build your own artistic portfolio and to show your own style and to give to the world your unique artistic voice. But first, you need to have all those preparations and all those foundations on which you can build your portfolio. We often also compare it to learning a language. Once somebody learns an alphabet and grammar rules, and in the end they start speaking the language and they can write in that language, from that point on they're free to express whatever they want in that language. But if one doesn't know the alphabet yet, or doesn't have it very much in clear what is the grammar structure, then it is really hard to convey something. It's really hard to communicate a clear message because that foundation isn't in place yet. That's why we compare this foundation year, foundation online course, also to you learning a language, a new language that is visual arts, that is visual communication. Because the final goal of all of that is learning how to create your own compositions, how to create your own artworks that will tell stories. But before you get to that point when you can create your own compositions and you can tell stories through your art, of course, before that you need to go through various stages. That's why this program is incremental. It's a progression that happens in time. That's why also you need to set your mind to be patient with yourself, to know that learning is a process, to know that you will have to go through various exercises, you will have to learn a lot, and some of the exercises you'll have to repeat quite a few times before they really sink in with you. The program goes from simple geometrical figures, then going on to a more complex subjects such as cast heads, and then you do still lifes, and then only in the end it gradually goes to even more complex matters such as portraiture. The reason behind it is also because you cannot skip stages while you are in your learning process. Because again, speaking of those universal rules, if one doesn't know how to draw a sphere, of course they will not know how to draw a human eye, because human eye is a sphere. That's why it's important to start gradually and to go through all the steps without skipping anything. And then slowly but surely, the knowledge will be layering up and you will be more and more comfortable with understanding the form, understanding the volume of each given form and each given assignment that would be becoming harder and would becoming more complex as you go through your program. In the beginning of the course, we will talk about very key things or very key concepts that you would need to know about. Two of those concepts are setting your eye and setting your hand. What does it mean to set an eye of an artist? There is a big difference between looking at things or looking at the world around us just as amateur or looking at things in the world around us as professional artists. What does it mean exactly? It means that there is a specific vision. We call it also holistic vision, when you can see things as a whole. As an artist, you would not be looking at things separately. If you see in front of you, let's say, still life, then you wouldn't be looking at each and every tiny detail, but you would be looking at it as a whole, and you would be finding that general color relationship and tonal relationship and the general mood of that piece. So this is a small example of what that holistic or what that artistic professional vision is about, is to see things in general, is to give the estimation, to give the evaluation of something as a whole. Also, that professional vision includes understanding of the form itself, as if you see each subject with X-ray vision, as if you could see it all the way through, because you already look at something that you are already familiar with. You're already familiar with that form. You understand how it's built. You understand how that 3D illusion is created. So in this way, when you look at something, you can see that substance of the subject as if you would be looking through. And in this way, when you draw or when you paint, you don't just copy the silhouette of a subject. You don't just copy the silhouette of whatever that you see in front of you, but you are creating, you're shaping and forming as a sculptor, because you know what that volume is, you know what that form is, you know how to put this together in a correct manner. Second concept that you would get familiar with in this course is setting a hand. What does setting your hand specifically mean? First, we talked about setting your eye and setting your professional vision. So once all of that vision and all that knowledge that starts flowing into you starts sinking in, then of course you want to keep putting it into practice, and you want to start connecting that knowledge to your hand. And as you do that, as you set your hand professionally, that also means knowing how to actually hold your hand as you work with various materials. It also means knowing how to use a different brush stroke, how to use hatching, how to actually manipulate different soft materials, what are the appropriate art materials to use in certain assignments, and what are they not applicable for, etc., etc. This training will slowly but surely will be getting to your brain and to your hand, and as you go and you learn more things and you keep practicing, then you will feel your own progress over time. A good piece of your course would be also dedicated to human anatomy. Why is it so important to understand anatomy, to learn the muscles, to learn the bones? Why would we do that in the first place? Of course, it's needless to say that when we speak of classical approach, when we speak of academic approach, it's one of the key things really to know that form and to know what goes underneath. That's why it's extremely important that each student would go through really key training in anatomy as well. When it comes to anatomy, in this course, you will be learning about human skull, neck and shoulders. So we would stop exactly where you need to stop so that you get the full understanding and full picture for doing portraiture. You will also get familiarized with the basics of physiognomy. You will learn as well about human muscles of the face, about scale of emotion. So essentially, you're going to get an introduction to professional portraiture, both in painting and in drawing. And as a core component of that would be human anatomy. So for painting, you will have various subjects that are dedicated to painting, such as color science, technique and technology of painting, painting itself as a subject, also plein air practice. And most of your classes, they will be dedicated to really one specific method in painting that's called alla prima. In those classes, you will learn the foundations as well of those things that you need to know in painting to start off your journey on a solid foot. Meaning that you will learn about temperature, you will learn about colors, what are the clean colors, what are the dirty colors, how to mix a clean color, what are the rules or what are the tricks there. So you will learn a lot about mixing, you will learn technical and very practical things, of course. So you will also learn about types of lighting and what does it mean in the context of painting. What is the difference between, let's say, painting with daylight indoors or outdoors? What are the rules there? As well, you will be given some assignments for plein air practice that, of course, in this case, you will be doing on your own because you're far away and you're doing your course online. But you will be given specific instructions as well on how to approach plein air practice or how to approach plein air painting, so that once you go out and you do some landscape painting, then you have specific guidelines on how to start, how to proceed, and how to finish your work. Also, one of the components of this course is going to be composition. What is composition? Composition is a very key subject in general in visual arts. The reason why it's so key, because the final goal of any artist is to be able to create something that's of their own, something that can express their unique artistic voice, because they want to tell a story to the world. Otherwise, nobody would want to be an artist. So most likely, if you're watching this video and if you're interested in this online course, you also want to become an artist and you want to do your storytelling to the world through your art. And that's why knowing the basics or knowing really the foundation of composition is very important. Knowing about how to create a harmonious image. What does it mean to have balanced composition? What is negative and positive spaces are? What types of composition there are out there? What does our human eye perceive as something that's beautiful or non-beautiful? How do we look at something and we say, this looks good or this looks harmonious, and we look at other image and it disturbs us? So all those things, it's not a mystery, it's really something that you can really learn in composition class, because all of that can be explained with certain rules that exist of how human eye perceives an image. That's why composition is going to be one of your key subjects as well. As you go along and you learn about painting and drawing, and you learn about anatomy, you learn about color, you learn about perspective and volume. So all those things together, as you go through your program and as you collect all that knowledge and you constantly keep putting it into practice, you will see how all those puzzles, all those pieces of the puzzle come together, and you start understanding more, and you see that with time you're able to draw and paint better and better. We hope this introduction was useful, and we hope that you got a pretty clear picture of what this course is about and what you can expect out of this time of learning for 1 year with us. It's important to say that some of the options for this course also include a course with us physically in Florence. One option includes a 1-month course, another one includes a 2-month course, which would be a great conclusion for you to finish off your studies very strongly. When you come here and you find yourself really in the great environment with your classmates in Florence, enjoying all the museums and enjoying everything that this magical city really has to offer to us artistically. In the end, we just wanted to say that this is a new thing for us as well. It's our first online course, and we just are looking forward big time to having you all guys on board, to contact us, getting your details, and then enrolling to the course and beginning your journey. We're happy to share the knowledge that we have. And in this time when many people cannot come here physically and stay with us in Florence, we think it's a really great opportunity, it's a great alternative, or maybe in some ways it's going to be even not an alternative, but almost an equal learning experience when you still have your professors following you weekly, you still have your virtual classmates, and you still can come and join us for a short time in Florence for 1 month or 2 months, depending on the option that you choose. So all of that put together, we believe, can be a great experience and can be a really strong beginning for your artistic journey. So we're looking forward to hearing from you, and see you soon.